Okay, let's talk about the weather across the United States because, wow, it is doing a complete 180. We're going from a deep freeze to a sudden bake, and it's all happening in just a matter of days. So let's break down this incredible temperature whiplash.
I mean, it seriously feels like we're living through two totally different seasons in the span of a single week. Just last week, parts of the country were getting absolutely buried under historic blizzards and shivering in the cold. And now we're talking about summer-like, record-breaking heat. It's a pretty stunning turnaround. And the timing here is almost poetic. This massive shift from blizzard conditions to a full-on bake is happening right as we kick off meteorological spring on March 1st. It's almost like the atmosphere decided to flip a switch right on cue and, well, in the most dramatic way possible. So, where did this crazy heat wave get started? Well, it all began early in the week, really cranking up in the desert Southwest and the deep South. And the temperatures it brought were, to put it mildly, pretty remarkable. Just look at Phoenix. The thermometer there hit 91 degrees Fahrenheit. And this wasn't just some fleeting spike in temperature. Nope, it was the third consecutive day above 90. For the very beginning of March, that is some serious heat. But believe it or not, it gets even more extreme. Down at Falcon Dam, Texas, a weather station reported a staggering 106 degrees. Yeah, you heard that right, 106. This isn't just some local record. This could potentially be the hottest temperature ever recorded in the entire United States during the winter months. Just wow. Now, this intense heat didn't just stay put in the Southwest. As we got into the second half of the week, this massive bubble of warmth started surging eastward, setting its sights on the Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic. And let's be super clear here. This isn't just a little warmer than usual. We are talking about temperatures soaring 25 to 30 degrees above what's considered normal for early March. That is a huge departure from the average. And this isn't just happening out in the middle of nowhere. This warmth is hitting major population centers. We're talking about potential record heat in places like Houston, Tampa, Atlanta, Memphis, Charlotte, and it's stretching as far north as Washington, D.C., and maybe even Pittsburgh by the weekend. So, to put that 25 degrees above average into perspective, let's take Atlanta as a perfect example. The typical high there for early March is, a pretty pleasant 62 degrees. But the forecast for this Friday, 80 degrees. That's the difference between needing a light jacket and breaking out the shorts. So the big question is this heat just a flash in the pan? Or is this a sign of what's to come? Let's zoom out a little and see what this intense, early warmth might mean for the rest of the month.
Well, it looks like this isn't just a brief fluke. Forecasters are expecting this warming turn to be a pretty dominant feature for most of the country, through at least the first half of March, especially out west. It really looks like spring is arriving early and with a whole lot of energy. But hey, before you pack away all your winter gear, it's probably worth remembering that March weather is famously unpredictable. As the source material puts it, this doesn't mean the cold weather is behind us. So I think the best advice is probably to just enjoy these beautiful warm days while we have them. And all of this really leaves us with one final important question to think about. We've literally gone from a historic blizzard to a potentially historic heat wave in just 1 week. So as our weather patterns seem to get more and more extreme, you have to wonder, are these crazy, dramatic temperature swings becoming our new normal?